All right, so it's Saturday, December 21st. We're here at Oaks Card Club, and we're here to put in another session before the end of the year for the vlog. I may have fibbed a little bit if you've seen the previous vlog, but I got a little bit inspired. Chatted with my brother a little bit yesterday, and he was telling me about how he's grinding out his DJ gigs. And I spoke with my barber this morning, and he was telling me about how he's grinding out his barbering gigs. So got inspired, so we're going to try to put in one more session here tonight, see if we can run it up.
The shuffling machine and everything down there.
All right, you know you're playing poker during December when you're playing with Santa Claus. All right, we just closed down a session here, going to eat a little bit of a late dinner, played a few hours, and get a little bit of drink as well, and recap a few hands. Arrived at Drake's dealership in Oakland, California. It's a lovely brewery restaurant, and it has this really cool kind of indoor-outdoor space right behind us here. Really awesome food, really awesome beers. Definitely should come check this place out, especially during the evening because they have the fire pits on, as you can see kind of in the back here. But also in the daytime it's really nice because, as you can see, the roof is just wide open. So yeah. All right, so we played a total of 4 hours. It was a rather slow session, I'd have to say. There weren't too many interesting hands, and so I'm going to pick a few that I guess that were the most interesting, even though there weren't too interesting per se. All right, so first hand of note comes when an early position player who's a fairly loose recreational player goes ahead and just makes it $100 to go. He started the hand with $400, so he puts in 25% of his stack in. So he's repping a pretty strong hand here, and it folds to us in the big blind, and we've got pocket aces. Our stack is around $700 here, and typically, you know, we can play this in different ways. If it were more of a standard raise, we would probably put in a 3-bet usually if it was a standard opening size. But given that this player put in so much already, I think there's only one move, and so we go ahead and go all in. It folds back to this player, and he just jams it all in as well. He's got pocket nines, and the board runs out 9-8-4, queen 7. So we go ahead and lose that one. We get our money in good, but unfortunately this player kind of outdraws us. And I think even another player on the table actually mentions that he folded 8-9. So unfortunate that we got one outed here, but you know, we're happy that we got it in good. All right, the next hand comes when there's, I think, 6 or 7 limpers, and it gets to us in the small blind. We've got ace queen of hearts, and so we go ahead and put in a pretty sizable raise. I think it makes sense to do this with this particular hand, especially when you're out of position, just because you prefer to play this kind of hand not multi-way if you can when you're out of position. And so I go ahead and make it $75 to go, and one of the early position players just jams it all in for $180. I played a little bit with this player before. He's typically pretty tight, but he knows that sometimes I can get out of line from different hands in the past. And so it gets back to me, and I just make the quick call. And the board runs out 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Not a good board run out for us. And he announces ace high. And so we go ahead and show our ace queen, and he actually shows us ace jack. So we go ahead and win this one with ace high. It goes to show that definitely in the live games, sometimes people kind of just are willing to get it in there with pretty inferior hands, and so you got to just make sure to read situations right. And typically when you kind of have someone who limps and then jams, they usually have a pretty strong hand, but not always the case, as you can see from this particular hand, particularly at the Oaks Card Club, where people can play fairly loose. So just keep that in mind when you are playing at this property. Our last interesting hand comes when the hijack makes it $20 to go. We call on the button with pocket deuces. The small blind makes the call and the limper makes the call. So we go 4 ways to a flop of deuce 3, 8, rainbow. So go ahead and flop bottom set here, and it checks to the initial raiser. He puts out a continuation bet of $80, leaving about $110 behind. And we go ahead and just flat here. No reason to raise on a pretty dry board, hoping to potentially induce the other two players in. But that doesn't happen. They both fold. And before the turn even comes, this player announces all in. And of course, I make the call before the turn even comes out, which then is a jack of clubs and a 7 of spades on the river. So he goes in and turns over 8, 9 of clubs. He was drawing dead on the turn. And we go ahead and take this one down with bottom set. So yeah, those were the few hands for the night. Unfortunately, there weren't really any interesting spots to, where there were, more streets to be played and things of that nature. But we go ahead and wrap up a 4-hour session. We were in the game for 1,200, and we cash out 923. So we go ahead and lose $277. Fairly small loss considering we were pretty card dead throughout the night. Granted, we didn't play very long, but just really no interesting spots came up. And started to get hungry, thirsty, and so we've ended up at Drake's here. All right, so that wraps things up for real this time. Closing this vlog out for the year. It's been a great few months, and again, I just want to say thank you to everyone for the support. Make sure to take this time to spend with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. Cheers to an awesome end to the year and bringing in the new year. And so I will see you all in 2019. Cheers.